I am a big believer in self-publishing for most people, especially if you are trying to write a nonfiction book to grow your business and to make an impact. And so this video is not about the differences between traditional and self-publishing and my thoughts on when or where you should do each one of those. We have other videos on that. What this video is focused on is to help you write the incredibly high quality book that you are proud of in the shortest amount of time so that you can grow your business and make a world-changing impact. All right, and so I'm going to break down a few of the benefits that come with self-publishing a book and why it might make the most sense for you. Now, full transparency, I have self-published 4 bestsellers. I did that all before I turned 30 years old, and those books changed my life. I've used a book at every stage of my career evolution. And most recently, my book, Big Idea to Bestseller, is my latest book that is going everywhere. Thousands of people around the world are getting it. It's being used in masterminds. It's being used in coaching programs. It's being used for people to write all types of nonfiction books. And so if you don't already have it, you can get it for 99 cents on Amazon. And that will break down more about the differences between self and traditional publishing. But like I said, I want to share with you though, right now, 5 immediate ways that self-publishing a book is going to change your life and your business. Number 1 is the minute you self-publish a book, you have instant credibility and authority as the go-to experts. Okay, and here's why this happens, okay? Beyond the obvious, oh, you wrote a book, you're the expert, the minute you release a book, you are seen as more legitimate, meaning that the general population now perceives you as somebody who has more information than the other experts or other people who speak on the topic that you wrote your book about. And why is this relevant? It does not mean, here's why this is relevant, because it does not mean that you are necessarily more knowledgeable or better at what you do than someone else in your line of work. But what it does is it gives you the perception that you are the person that people need to come to. And that perception is enough to get people to reach out, to want to learn more and to dig deeper. And once you can get someone to take that action, that opens the door for you to show them how great you actually really are. The second part of this is that once you release a book, people will start to ask you questions about that topic. And so one of the things that we always tell our authors is make sure that the title is very attention grabbing and make sure the subtitle is incredibly clear. That way, your ideal readers, your prospects, or your readers who finish the book can know exactly what to ask you questions on and what you want them to ask you questions on. And when people have more clarity, they can ask better questions. And when people ask you better questions, A, it's easier to answer those as the expert, but B, you can show them how great you really are by giving them something of incredible value. Okay? So that's number 1, instant credibility and authority the minute you self-publish a book. Number two is that you can choose your timeline when you self-publish a book. So the coolest thing about this, okay, is that you can self-publish your book tomorrow if you are ready. You could say, I'm writing a book, you could write it and you could publish it as soon as you want. So you can write, you can publish, and you can launch a book as soon as you are ready. All right, now I want to make something very, very clear here as we're talking about this. Yes, in theory, you can publish this as fast as humanly possible. You could write a book today and post it tomorrow. But just because you can do something within that quickly of a time frame doesn't mean you should. And remember, our job is to create the highest quality book that you are proud of in the shortest amount of time. Okay, and I encourage people to try to write a rough draft in about 30 days, get their book published within 90 days, okay? Sometimes that will take up to 6 months, but it's entirely up to you at the speed. I've done it where I've written a book in 17 days. I've published it by day 62. I've done it by day 87. I've done it in 6 months. There are different reasons of why you would want to speed something up, but the thing that I want you to take away is that you can choose your own timeline. Now, let me give you an example here, all right? I want to break this down even further for you. Let's say you are self-publishing your book and you have a year, okay? You have a year. Well, if you can finish your book in 6 months, then you can have a launch at that 6-month point, and then you get 6 months for the rest of the year to go market your book, to give it away, to get speaking engagements, to get clients, to bring in leads, to see what's working, to see what people resonate with. If you waited that whole year, that is a loss of 6 months that you get to be marketing and using your book for back-end purposes. All right. So the really cool thing about self-publishing is you can choose your timeline. And I think that that is a massive, massive benefit to self-publishing your book. Number 3 is when you self-publish a book, it is a fantastic way to nurture your audience and to build what marketers say is the know, like, and trust factor. Okay. The KLT, baby. All right. And here's why this really is so valuable for you. I read my books at night before I go to bed, or on the weekend. I wake up, I'm sitting next to my girlfriend, I pull out a book, she's still sleeping, I'm reading a good book. All right, I'm getting the morning going, but I'm relaxed. Okay. So it's the first thing I see in the morning, and it's the last thing I see. Not only is it the first and last thing I see, literally I'm seeing the physical book, or I'm seeing your name on the Kindle version, but I am seeing and learning your content. So that means when I'm going to bed, I am thinking about what I just learned, and that's what's going on in my head. And so that gives you a ton of attention, which we know right now is one of the most valuable currencies you can have, is attention. And so to have that type of attention with someone for the 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even sometimes 4 weeks that somebody is reading your book, that gives you huge opportunity to build name recognition, to be seen frequently, and to give people more of an opportunity to do something next. Okay. And I haven't even gotten into the benefits of this exactly yet. I'm just giving you the general idea to change the way you think about this. But now let's get into the tactical here, is when you have a book and somebody reads your book, they get to learn your story. They get to see your coaching style. They get to get a quick win or multiple wins by implementing what you say. If somebody learns your story and likes you, they like the way you coach, and your book gets them wins, what do you think they're going to do? Of course, they're going to hire you to speak or to coach them or to consult them or to do what you say for them at a high ticket amount. The point is this: when you self-publish a book and you have ownership of it, you're able to really build know, like, and trust with people. All right. People pay all day long, $10, $20, $30, $40 for a lead. You're able to give your book for $5 to people that will then spend hours and hours and hours seeing you, thinking about you, and reading your life story. There's no other way you can get that attention and build that know, like, trust factor. All right. Number 4 here is that when you self-publish a book, you have 100% control and 0 fulfillment and distribution on your end. Let me explain this, okay? When you self-publish a book, this is what's called print on demand, meaning that you publish your book, you get it onto Amazon. We'll talk about that in a second, but you get it up on Amazon, worldwide distribution. People can buy your book, okay? Now, let's say somebody in Minnesota, I'm in LA, somebody in Minnesota buys my book. Because my book is print on demand, basically what happens is the person from Minnesota buys my book. I have no idea that that's happened. Amazon fulfills the order, prints my book, ships it to the person in Minnesota, and then I get money in the bank account. I get royalty check at the end of every month for all of those book sales. I don't have to do anything. So print on demand is really great because you don't need to have 1,000 books of inventory. You don't need to spend a ton of upfront capital and then try to figure out a way to get rid of books. This is huge opportunity for you. The second part of this is that when you self-publish a book, you have 100% ownerships, 100% rights, and 100% royalties. So if you are working with somebody, traditional publishers take a majority of your rights and your royalties, okay? Of your royalties specifically. But when you self-publish, you get to own your entire book, which means you can give it away. You can do fun giveaways, different types of activities with it. And that gives you a lot of opportunity to grow at a faster pace than just trying to sell books over and over and over again. Okay. And the other really cool thing is you don't actually have to ship books out to anybody unless you want to gift it to them or unless you want to share that with them. So this is a really big benefit of self-publishing your book, is you get to maintain all of the control. You don't have to have massive inventory, and you can get books in more hands faster. Number 5, it is easier than ever before to self-publish a book. All right. This is a fantastic benefit that even when I first launched my book in 2016, it's been even easier now. Okay, the process is very similar, but it's been even easier. And what's really cool about this is it's more accessible than ever to publish your book. So when I go to publish a book, or when we do our done-for-you publishing services for our clients, and we publish our clients underneath our publishing house, Reflect Publishing, and again, they keep all the ownerships, but they get the feeling of being professionally published, is we can upload a book sometimes as fast as 45 minutes to an hour. Okay. And if we're teaching other people, we have step-by-step instructions where all you have to do is create an account, upload the documents, upload a few other pieces of information, throw in your tax information so you can get paid, and boom, your book is up, it's published, it's online, and it's available worldwide for people. And this is what's really, really amazing. And because of this, because of how easy it is, how accessible it is, and how much you get to keep from it, we're seeing a lot of traditionally published authors leave to come self-publish because they want to have that ownership and they want to have that speed of implementation. And then, you know what? That was number 5, but I want to go big today, and I'm going to throw in a little bonus one because why not? So the bonus benefit of self-publishing a book is simply this. It's freaking epic. It's freaking awesome to publish a book. All right. First of all, it's a huge accomplishment. For most people, it's a bucket list item. Third of all, it's just fantastic. And there's no greater feeling than knowing that you created something, you stuck through it, you had discipline, you withered the storms, the ups and the downs, and you made it to the promised land. And boom, you have a book that's inspiring the world. That's epic. But here's what's even more epic. Okay. We had a client, he writes his book. This is a confident guy. He writes his book. He finishes his book. Now his confidence is through the roof. Not only did he feel more confident about himself because he had completed writing a book, but he felt more confident about the work that he was actually teaching. What did that lead to? 5 speaking engagements the month after he sold his book. Colleges buying his book for every graduating senior. And so here's what happens when you write a book. Okay. You get more confidence, which also removes that imposter syndrome, which allows you to be free and own how great you really are. But you get confidence. I call this the 3 C's. You get confidence. That leads to having more conviction when you speak. When you have more conviction when you speak, people feel that. People get excited that you're excited. And that conviction leads to an increase in conversion. Confidence leads to conviction, leads to conversions. It is freaking epic. Those are 5 of the reasons, plus a bonus one, of why self-publishing can be so great to grow your business. And there's never been a better time to do it, folks. There has never been a better time to do it. If you want our help, whether you want us to coach you through the process from A to Z, we got you covered. If you want to write the book, but then you want us to professionally publish your book for you, we can do that. And if you're like, you know what? I'd rather just, Jake, can you do it all? We will write your book, publish your book, and launch your book for you with your input. We will do it all. We will ghostwrite your book. We will market your book. We will edit your book, format your book, design your book, do it all. Okay. Anything you need within those parameters, we got you covered. So if you enjoyed this, share it with a friend. And if you want our help getting your book done faster than you ever thought possible, hit us up. Be happy to chat. And thank you again, as always, for listening to another episode.